4 years ago, a young black geologist named Daniel Robinson drove into the Arizona desert and vanished without a trace. His car was found weeks later, wrecked in a ravine with his clothes neatly folded 100 feet away and no footprints leading out. Welcome back to the Silver Tongue Files. I'm your host, the Silver Tongue Devil. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most perplexing missing person cases in America, the disappearance of Daniel Cornelius Robinson. His story is about more than a vanished man. It's about a family's relentless search for answers, a community's heartbreak, and a case that's become a flashpoint in the conversation about missing black men in America. If you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications for more black true crime deep dives. Daniel Robinson was born without a right hand, but he never let that define him. Friends and family describe him as an intelligent, curious, and fiercely independent. He graduated from the College of Charleston in South Carolina with a degree in geology, then moved across the country to Arizona to pursue his dream job as a field geologist for Matrix New World Engineering. Daniel loved adventure, solo trips, hiking, and exploring the wild Arizona landscape. That independent spirit would later complicate the investigation into his disappearance. June 23rd, 2021. Daniel, then 24, arrives at a remote well site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road, outside Buckeye, Arizona. He's there to inspect the well for his company. A co-worker later reports that Daniel was acting strangely, making off-topic comments, seeming distracted, and then, without warning, driving off into the desert around 9:15 a.m. He never returns. Weird, right? He just basically drove off into the Arizona desert. Now, why the co-worker didn't immediately do something, I don't know. To me, that sounded a little weird. His family in South Carolina grows worried about after not hearing from him and files a missing person report that night. And this is another thing that really threw me off kind of when I was researching, because usually for someone to raise the alarm for missing persons, at least you need to be gone for probably like 24 to 48 hours. I couldn't see someone filing it so quick, like their family, like his family, like he wasn't even missing 24 hours. It was like he left at 9:15 a.m. and then, as you can see, by before 24 hours even passed, they had already filed a missing person report, which makes me feel like they were already kind of watching it, if that makes sense. Like kind of on edge, kind of maybe even a little worried already, because they got that missing persons report out quick. So to me, the quickness of them doing that really alerted me as in maybe they were already kind of on edge about Daniel. So nearly a month passes with no sign of Daniel. Then on July 19th, a rancher discovers Daniel's blue Jeep Renegade wrecked in a remote ravine about 4 miles from where he was last seen. The scene is bizarre. The airbags are deployed, the sunroof has been kicked out from the inside, and Daniel's clothes, boots, and orange construction vest are neatly piled about 100 feet away. His phone, wallet, and keys are still in the Jeep. There's no blood, no sign of injury, and no footprints leading away from the site. The vehicle's ignition had been cycled 11 times after the crash. And of course, that makes you want to question, did someone else move the car, or was Daniels acting erratically? And what really, again, spoke out to me was that his clothes, boots, and orange construction vest are neatly piled 100 feet away. That's in such contrast to what you would find at a car crash site. You find a neatly piled collection of clothes belonging to the missing person when their Jeep is found up, basically upside down, and the ignition was trying to start 11 times, and the sunroof had appeared to be kicked out. It's a crazy case. So what happened to Daniel Robinson? Mental health crisis? Some point to Daniel's odd behavior before he disappeared. Weeks earlier, he'd become infatuated with a woman he delivered groceries to, sending her a series of texts that went unanswered. She eventually asked him to stop contacting her. Was Daniel experiencing a psychological crisis? Some friends and coworkers described him as distant or depressed, but others insist he was simply adventurous and independent. Maybe it was foul play. Daniel's father, David Robinson, has been relentless in his search for answers. He believes the crash scene was suspicious. Why were Daniel's clothes removed? Why was the sunroof kicked out? Why did the car's damage not match the terrain? Private investigators hired by the family found inconsistencies in the crash report and even suggest the Jeep may have been driven elsewhere and pushed into the ravine. There are also troubling aspects to the investigation. David Robinson claims Buckeye police were slow to act and at times dismissive. He says a detective once suggested Daniel had run off to a Buddhist temple and that the FBI was never properly involved. Buddhist temple was crazy. Daniel's apartment was broken into after his disappearance before police could obtain a search warrant, which to me wasn't highlighted enough. Someone goes missing, immediately files a missing report, and then immediately in another 24 hours, their apartment is ransacked. It just sounds like a lot of unanswered questions here. And there's the desert's brutality. Of course, the Arizona desert is vast and unforgiving. If Daniel wandered off, his remains could be hidden by the terrain. But despite over 50 organized searches, some led by Daniel's father himself, no trace of him has ever been found. The case has drawn comparisons to the Gabby Petito disappearance, which dominated headlines at the time. Many have pointed out the disparity in media coverage between missing white women and missing black men. Daniel's story has become part of a larger conversation about who gets attention and who gets left behind. There's also speculation about Daniel's work. He was surveying water resources for a massive planned community called Douglas Ranch, now renamed Teravalis. At the time, there were questions about whether the project would be approved due to water shortages. Some online sleuths wonder if Daniel's disappearance is linked to his work and the development's future. Interesting. As of June 2025, Daniel Robinson has not been found. No remains, no confirmed sightings, no official suspects. His father continues to organize weekly searches and maintains a GoFundMe to support the investigation. The Buckeye Police Department says the case remains open and active, but the public is divided. Did Daniel walk off intently, or did something much darker happen? Daniel Robinson didn't just disappear. He vanished under deeply mysterious circumstances, and the silence that followed speaks volumes. His case is still open, still unresolved, and still deserves answers. If this story moved you, do one thing. Make sure it's not forgotten. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more untold cases like this. And if there's a case you think I should cover, drop it in the comments. This is our community and every voice counts. This case definitely spoke out to me, and I wanted to cover it and bring it to you guys. I really am learning that these cases are really complex in nature, and you never know what you're going to get. And I'm going to be bringing you more cases and more stories that have gone forgotten. So again, I am the Silver Tongue Devil, and this is the Silver Tongue Files, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.